Most of my time is owned by other people. I have to find those moments to finish my degree and achieve my goals. I have to work for this. And I want my kids to see me do it. I want them to see that there's going to be sacrifices that you have to make to reach your goals. You have to find the dedication, you have to find the passion to get it done.
Hi, I'm Dan Hines and I'm here with Jamie Wilson from Nintendo Australia. Jamie, thanks for joining us.
No worries.
And we are here with the new Nintendo 3DSs. So we've got the 3DS regular size.
That's right.
The new Nintendo 3DS XL. So why don't we start with just the normal one?
No
what
worries.
What have we got here on the outside? We've got new faceplates.
That's right. So the new Nintendo 3DS comes equipped with cover plates, is what we're calling them. So they're replaceable cover plates, both the top and the bottom, that you'll actually be able to take off and add new ones on to, mix up the design of your console and customize it up a little bit.
What are they going to be retailing for?
So in Australia and New Zealand, they'll retail from $17.95. They'll be available at launch, and we've got 20 of the different designs available straight up.
Now, the first thing that you're probably going to notice is you've got the old school, like Super Nintendo button design on the A, B, X, and Y.
Yeah, that's right. So the A, B, X, Y buttons have actually got the colour scheme from the original Super Nintendo Entertainment System. You'll also see a few other new additions physically when you actually open the console. We've got the addition of the C-Stick there.
C-Stick, just up
That's
here.
correct. And on the back side, we've got the ZL and the ZR buttons. So those buttons and the functionality of all of those will basically act like the Circle Pad Pro would, the accessory that you could buy. So for games that are Circle Pad Pro compatible, such as Resident Evil Revelations or Kid Icarus Uprising, even the upcoming Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS, you'll actually be able to utilise the C-Stick for a range of different features within those games.
So the C-Stick is not actually another circle pad, it's slightly different. The circle pad slides out to the sort of extremities of that little area here, but the C-Stick, it's sort of like a little laptop knob that you would kind of use in place of a mouse, right?
That's right. It's very similar to that. So you won't actually physically move, but it's very sensitive, and it takes the analog input from the direction of your thumbs.
I've got a slight redesign of the buttons down here. So we've got the home button in the middle, like normal. We've got start and select back over to the right under the face buttons.
Yep, that's correct. With the whole console redesign, I mean, there's been a few things that have had to be moved around to give it the form factor required for the new features. So we've got the volume slider, which is on the top left now. The game card will now go on the bottom at the front as well, and the stylus position is also moved. So there have been a few little things that have.
So that's the bottom face at the middle. You can just pull it out from there.
Yeah, that's right.
So what else have we got new?
With both of the new Nintendo 3DS consoles, they've got the inbuilt NFC functionality, which is the near-field communication that you may or may not be familiar with. So that will allow us to actually be able to connect with Amiibo interactive figurines that are releasing coming up very soon for both normal Nintendo 3DS consoles. There'll be an accessory that actually releases where you'll be able to connect with the Amiibo using that NFC functionality.
Cool. Why don't we bring the old 3DS and 3DS XL over here and do a bit of a comparison?
Okay, yeah, no worries.
So my thing with the 3DS and the 3DS XL, the normal 3DS was too cramped and too small, and it sort of didn't feel that great to play. The 3DS XL, much better, but for me it sort of produced a bit of hand strain because it was just so heavy. So how does the new 3DS and the new 3DS XL compare in terms of both size and weight to the older one?
In terms of the form factor for both of these, the new Nintendo 3DS XL, this one here, is a little bit slimmer than the original Nintendo 3DS XL, but the actual screen size remains consistent between the two of them. Moving on to Nintendo 3DS, there's actually been an increase in the screen size of Nintendo 3DS up from the original. So personally, it seems to be significant in terms of the viewing size of it, but that'll be up to each of their own to decide when they get their hands on it.
So what kind of a weight difference have we got on the new 3DS XL compared to the old 3DS?
Well, looking at the larger consoles, the new Nintendo 3DS XL is actually a little bit lighter and a little bit slimmer than the Nintendo 3DS XL, so you will notice that difference when you pick it up. Moving on to the new Nintendo 3DS, given that it has the larger screens, it's actually going to be a little bit heavier and a little bit wider than the original Nintendo 3DS, but still nice and portable at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. It still has a different form factor as well. It's a lot more curved. A lot, I guess you'd almost say, softer than the old 3DS.
And you find that with the various cover plates as well. I mean, some of them have like a kind of a wood finish as well. So you're going to be able to customize the texture of actually the console in your hands.
Okay, so with the 3DS, the new 3DS XL. We don't have the cover plates on this.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, I mean, the new Nintendo 3DS XL will be launching in both metallic black and metallic blue, and they have a real kind of luxury look, together with the larger screens, and that's how those particular consoles have been designed.
So we actually have a different, a kind of new approach to the actual 3D effect as well. With the 3DS and the 3DS XL, you had to sort of hold them in a very specific position. At a specific distance away from your eyes to actually keep that 3D effect and not have it sort of break apart. What are we doing with these, the new 3DSs?
Yeah, so both the new Nintendo 3DS consoles have what we're calling Super Stable 3D, and that's a function within the console that actually adjusts the 3D to the position of where your head is in relation to the console. So using the information provided from an infrared sensor and also the gyro sensor inside, if you move the console while actually playing the game, it'll adjust where that sweet spot is as you move in relation to the console.
So this front-facing camera is constantly tracking where your head is.
Yeah,
and it combines that with the gyro sensor.
And so if you are playing, quite vigorously and you do happen to move the console a little bit, you'll be able to still see 3D comfortably.
And so we've also got a better processor in here as well, and that's going to allow for a few new 3DS exclusive games. Is that right?
Yeah. So right now we've confirmed in Australia and New Zealand that Xenoblade Chronicles will be available sometime in 2015 for new Nintendo 3DS consoles. Both the consoles have increased in CPU power, and really what that's going to help us do is it's going to allow the console to run more comfortably as well. So switching between software or download speeds will actually be increased, but at the same time it allows us to run software that perhaps the Nintendo 3DS consoles weren't able to run.
But existing 3DS games aren't going to run faster, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, the games, in terms of the graphical output and existing 3DS games, they'll run comfortably as they always have. Other than that, we've got the auto brightness functionality as well.
Yep.
So it'll actually, you can turn that on or off, and that'll adjust the auto brightness. It's a nice little feature, and I'm sure consumers will enjoy finding a lot of other bits and pieces on the consoles.
So out of all these, which is your favorite one? You've got these 3DSs with the faceplates, and you've got these metallic silver, metallic blue, metallic black, sorry?
Metallic black and metallic blue.
And metallic blue.
That's correct.
Which one's for you?
Look, it's hard for me to decide at the moment. I love the cover plates, and I also really appreciate the increase in the screen size on the new Nintendo 3DS as well. But it's still very portable, and I can't go past the luxury look of new Nintendo 3DS XL, so I'm going to sit on the fence, Dan, and I'll leave it up for you to make up your mind.
Good stuff. I like this one purely because of the SNES buttons, so yeah, that's for me. For more on the new Nintendo 3DS, check out GameSpot.com.
We're moving cross country and we need a way to stay connected to our friends and family back home.
With the best plans from the top carrier.
Hey guys, and welcome to our Now Playing with Super Smash Bros. I'm Justin Haywald, and I'm joined by Gage.
Hello.
Gage is our resident Super Smash Bros. Expert. I usually play as Pikachu, and I spam the lightning bolt from top and just kind of hang out at the back of the stage until I win or until everybody else kills themselves. But you're actually a decent Smash Bros. Player.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm like too good at Brawl. I haven't played Brawl too much. I still play it from time to time, but I'm more of a melee player, and I love being on the aggressive and going with Fox. Fox was my guy back then, so.
And we had at an E3 tournament, you got to get some hands-on time with the Wii U version of the game, and you came out as a champion in that, actually.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't play long enough because I had to get back to the war room, do some work, but I was able to win a couple T-shirts, which is kind of nice, and really get a feel for the game, and I loved what I played, so.
But that being said, we're not experts.
Right.
Semi-pro on Gage's side, complete casual on my end.
I would go more with enthusiast. We're like Smash Bros. Enthusiast.
So you're going to be seeing this from the point of view of people who have been playing the game for a bit and who definitely like Smash Brothers, but I don't know anything about like this swirling dash. I don't know what the moves are. I would just
you like the
myself.
wave dashing and all that fancy stuff, but yeah.
See, you even know what a wave dash is. Way beyond me. But I guess some of the first things that we're going to look at, I know that we've seen a lot of stuff leaked out already. The Japanese version isn't out until, well, it's out now.
It's out, but not for us, unfortunately.
So people have been streaming that. What we're playing on is a preview build, basically. It does have all of the normal characters. So when you first start up the game, this is basically what you're going to see. It's going to have all of those initial starting characters. We've been playing around with it a lot, though, and we haven't been able to unlock any characters.
Right.
Though, I mean, those are confirmed. We know that there's the Duck Hunt Dog. We know there's some Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we're not going to get to play them.
Right.
But so kind of looking at what we do have here, so I think going through the menu, first of all, making sure that we have our controls set up. The controls are very important for something like this when you have a small screen, you have not a lot of buttons. So if you back out of this by hitting B, and hit A. Maybe.
Right. That's the main title screen.
There's an option, Games and More.
Right.
Going into Games and More, you're able to actually move your controls around and set up how you want the controls to work for you. So if you go over to Options, in the upper right hand, in the lower right hand corner, in Controls here, you can move around the buttons to kind of suit your specific playstyle. And I think that's really important for something like this.
Right. I mean, the default ones that they had, I personally was not a fan of. Right now you see the top screen, but on the bottom screen, which isn't shown, you can actually customize what each button does. And the default one has the B button being the jump, or that's how we said it, the B jump, the A attack, and the Y attack. But you can move it around to whatever you prefer. That's
Moving cross country and we need a way to stay connected to our friends and family back home.
With the best plans from the top carriers.
see the top screen, but on the bottom screen, which isn't shown, you can actually customize what each
we're not going to get to play it then.
Right.
But so kind of looking at what we do have here, so I think going through the menu, first of all, making sure that we have our controls set up. The controls are very important for something like this when you have a small screen, you have not a lot of buttons. So if you back out of this by hitting B, and hit A. Maybe.
Right. That's the main title screen.
There's an option, Games and More.
Right.
Going into Games and More, you're able to actually move your controls around and set up how you want the controls to work for you. So if you go over to Options, in the upper right hand, in the lower right hand corner, in Controls here, you can move around the buttons to kind of suit your specific playstyle. And I think that's really important for something like this.
Right. I mean, the default ones that they had, I personally was not a fan of. Right now you see the top screen, but on the bottom screen, which isn't shown, you can actually customize what each button does. And the default one has the B button being the jump, or that's how we set it, the B jump, the A attack, and the Y attack. But you can move it around to whatever you prefer. That's personally how I prefer. I know Justin has his own way as well.
Yeah, until you just grab and drop them around, and that lets you set it. But otherwise, pretty basic. But I think it's really important to get the right feel for that. I'm just going to copy what you did because I trust you to do better than I do. And turning, so there's also the tap to jump you see in the lower left-hand corner. So normally, if you tap up, you'll be able to jump. Turning that off, it feels a little bit more useful in a situation like this. So we'll save and exit, get out of here, and maybe play a couple actual matches.
Sounds good.
So, getting out of this menu, let me just grab your controller here. I think we've seen a whole lot of solo, but we'll just start off with group. They'll let you get a feel for how much better Gadget is at this game than I am. Setting up a group when we're close like this is pretty simple. Yeah, so smash, go to group, and Gadget will host the game for this. And you can open it up to, of course, anyone, to just friends.
We'll make it anyone in case someone out there finds a way to do this.
Yeah, if there's someone else hanging out who wants to play with us, we're right here. You can join in. Gadget's hosting his, and it'll pop up on my screen. You can't see my screen. You're only seeing Gadget's because he's the better player.
I'll start off with Greninja, one of the newer characters this round.
And I will pick Mega Man. I really like some of the you can't see the bottom screen on our display here. Oh no, there, up in the upper right-hand corner, you can see us cycling through the different colors for the different characters. And lots of different color palettes to choose from. Doesn't necessarily change the gameplay style.
I mean, there are some cool ones, like if you actually go to Link, you can see there's a Fierce Deity mode, so he actually has a Fierce Deity costume. Which is pretty cool, and I know a lot of fans wanted that. His gameplay is exactly the same as Link, though, but at least you got the costume.
We're moving cross country and we need a way to stay connected to our friends and family back home.
With the best plans from the top carriers.
Hi everyone, I'm Tristan Corbett. I'm the brand manager for Monster Hunter here at Capcom, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. Monster Hunter is an action RPG for the Nintendo 3DS, and the basic premise is that you are a hunter of very large monsters. The gameplay is primarily quest-driven, and you take on these quests either alone or teaming up online with a hunting party or locally. And you take down big beasts, and then as you do that and advance in your career as a hunter, you unlock the ability to craft different gear and weapons from materials derived from these monsters. What's brand new for Monster Hunter 4 is the narrative component of the game is actually a lot larger than it's ever been in any previous title. And with that, we actually expanded the overall world to include multiple villages this time around.